Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Erica and you are at the Lopsided Crafter. Grab yourself something to drink, sit back for a spell, and let's talk about all of our yarny goodness and creation. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I was tagged by Gina of the Knitting Turnpike to do the knitting and crochet 10 crochet and knitting questions hashtag. So this is my third take. Okay, so I have the questions over here off to the side, and I am going to read the correct questions this time. Yeah, last time I was reading the questions for the crochet knitting questions, but I was saying that it was the 10 non-yarny, which made absolutely no sense. It's been one of those mornings. Okay, so here we go again. Number one, how long have you been crocheting and or knitting? Okay, I'm probably going to age myself here just a little bit. I have been crocheting for 40 years. My great grandma, we called her Big Mama, she actually is the one that taught me how to crochet. I'm sure you've probably heard me mention that a couple times on the channel. I used to stay with her on the weekends, and she was always crocheting. She did a lot of granny squares. She did a lot of chevron blankets and a lot of thread. She made gorgeous doilies and table runners and things like that. So when I would stay with her on the weekends, I would beg and beg and beg, Big Mama, please, please, please teach me how to crochet. So, you know, when you have kids around you that are that age and they're bugging you, sometimes you just give in so they'll stop, right? Because she's like, okay, I'm going to show you, but you're not going to do it, blah, blah, blah. So she taught me how to chain. And then when I went back the following weekend, I had this long chain, and I was just so proud of it. Then she ripped it out. She says, okay, now we're going to learn how to do the granny square. So she taught me how to do the granny square. She taught me, the double crochet and the format of the granny square. And she says, okay, now that you can do that, you can go back and forth and we can make dishcloths. And that's kind of where we left it, because shortly after that, she had to be put into assisted living, and it just wasn't, good timing. So I dabbled in it here and there over the years, and I actually had a class in my senior year of high school, which I will elaborate a little bit more on the 10 non-yarny, because that kind of goes hand in hand. So what I will say with that is that I had a class my senior year of high school that was fiber arts related. We did knitting, crocheting, cross stitch, that kind of thing. So really, really picked it up again my senior year of high school, and it's kind of really been nonstop. As far as knitting, I picked that up in the early 90s, only because at that time, early to mid 90s, I wanted to make garments. And at that time, crochet garments were like very open. And I'm a warm-natured person, and I did not want to make anything that I had to wear something underneath. And of course, I didn't know all of the ins and outs of weights of yarn, and that this type of yarn is better for a garment, and blah, blah, blah. So that's how the knitting came into the picture. So I've already answered, how did I learn? I've answered the first thing I've crocheted, which was a long chain. And the first thing I knitted was a dishcloth. What is the last thing that you crocheted and or knitted? The last thing I knitted, and I still haven't, oh my gosh, I still haven't put the ends in, is this shawl from Cozy Up Knits. The last thing I crocheted, oh golly molly, I don't know. I don't know. Because I've been loom knitting and I've been, well, I'm working on something, so I guess maybe we can say that's the last thing I crocheted, but I cannot show it. So we'll leave it at that. What is the last stitch or technique that you learned how to knit and or crochet? I had never done some of the stitches that were actually in this shawl. There was a lot of wraps and turns in this shawl, which I have done wraps and turns, but I've never had to, in the patterns that I've done previously, I've never had to go back and pick up those wraps and turns on a purl row. So that was a new technique that I learned. What are you currently crocheting and or knitting? That's that project that I cannot answer. Sorry guys, it's kind of all over the place. What is something that you want to learn how to crochet and or knit? I don't know if it's something that I want to learn how to do, but something that I really want to do is one of Stephen West's shawls. Oh. They are out there. They are definitely out there. Oh, I want to learn how to fade. I want to learn the right techniques of fade. So I've got some yarn for that. Of course I do. What is something that you... Okay, I did that. What has been the worst frogging experience with crochet and or knitting? I've had a lot over the years. But I'm going to say probably my worst here recently was over the weekend. I was working on my sock. And you guys will see a video of that because I did a whole like vlog. And I'm going to title it The Chronicles of the Traveling Sock. But I was working on my sock on the loom. My second sock, you know, because I work them in tandem. And I went to close it up. Close up the Kitchener. And unbeknownst to me, the yarn must have split somewhere in the either cast on process or the first or second round. And I could not close it. That was probably about, well, I casted it on the night before we left. I got the toe just about done, so that was probably about 2 hours. And then I worked on it the whole ride, which was another 7 hours. So that's what, 9 hours so far. And then I probably worked on it another 2 or 3 hours during the stay. So 12 hours worth of work on my sock. Oh, guys, I was so upset that I frogged it, and when I got home, I just sat the bag off to the side. I haven't even picked up the other sock. Yeah. What project that you have crocheted and or knitted have you been the most proud of? I don't know that I really have one that sticks out more than the other. Excuse me. Sorry guys, the pollen is like right now. And you're going to hear me say that for a while because it's crazy. Everything that I do, I'm proud of. So I don't know that I really have one that I'm more proud of over the other. Maybe it's the ones that have been accepted by publications. I have a few from early 2000-ish that were accepted. I was in a book by, I think it was Annie's Attic. It was either Annie's Attic or Leisure's Art. I can't remember. I'll have to dig it out and look for it. And it was all crocheted stuff for animals. So my design for a collar and leash was accepted. Also, way back in the day, there used to be these books. I can't even remember. I know it was part of Annie's Attic, and I cannot remember what the brand was, but they were hardback crochet pattern books. I was in one of those for a great big old Rasta hat. Pretty much anything that I work on, I'm proud of. So I can't really say that I'm proud of one or excited about one more or the other. So that was kind of all over the place. But that is my 10 crochet knitting questions tag by Gina of the Knitting Turnpike. She is the one that tagged me. I'm not 100% sure who started it, because like I said, this is like I'm not sure who started it. So anyway, I'm going to tag Gary of Urban Yarns. I'd love to hear your answers on this. I am going to tag who am I going to tag? Petra of Petra's Happy Place. And I think I will tag Jennifer of Cinnamon Stitches. And anybody else that wants to do it. Please jump in. Again, I know it was all over the place. I will definitely have the questions below because some of mine kind of went hand in hand. So anyway, thanks for the call out, Gina. And until next time, guys, happy crafting, happy crocheting, happy knitting, and happy looming. Bye. Thanks for joining us on The Lopsided Crafter. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. We really, truly appreciate it. Until next time, happy knitting, happy looming, and happy crocheting. Bye.